Welcome into another edition of Keeping Up with Vestavia Athletics. I'm your host, Caleb Brooks, joined by head volleyball coach, Coach Ashlee Hardee. And Coach, your group's fresh off of a big week this past week. You're now on a 5-game winning streak and playing really good volleyball. And you got to love the timing of playing really good volleyball right now, because this week area play will get started, and the most meaningful games of the season are right here around the corner for you guys.
Yeah, that's very true. We had a great weekend this past weekend in Auburn. Some really good competition there that we can get into, but we ended up winning the tournament, going 4-0 in that. That along with the Helena win before that. So we are coming in on a roll. I think we're healthy. We're excited. We got Tuscaloosa County and Hoover this week in area matches, and it's definitely a good time for that.
Getting to play those matches at home as well, how important is that? We talked a little bit before going on. You guys have changed it so you're not having to go to someone and them come to you during the regular season. So getting to have those games right here in your own gym, how important is that this week for your girls?
I think it's great. I mean, it's, so there's 4 of us in the area, so that's 3 matches. This year we have 2 at home and 1 away, and it's not going to be that way every year, but we'll take it this year for sure. And it's exciting to be able to play here at home. We have a great crowd. We have a great fan base that's actually growing. It's getting better even from last year to this year, and so it's a really fun place to play. Our girls are excited about it, and like I said, these are these area games that count now. We're only going to play 1 time through, so it's 3 games to determine seeding for the area tournament that happens later on. So it's a great time right now. We're excited to play some of these games that are going to count a little bit more.
You would have started area on Thursday, but due to expected rain in the area, footballs move schedules around, which caused issues at Thompson and caused issues for you guys. And so now having to move that game, when is that game rescheduled for? And what was that like, having to change all of that and go through all that last week?
Yeah, it was. We felt it coming with the expected rain. We know Vestavia, we moved our football game, and then the next morning, basically, Thompson got word that they were doing the same thing. So everybody was kind of doing it. We felt it coming, but there was some build-up for it. It was going to be the first one. It was definitely going to be a good one. And I let the girls know they were definitely disappointed because they were getting excited to play. But we'll play that on, I believe, Tuesday the 20th, if my date's right there. So basically next week when we come back from a trip we have this weekend, we'll get back in and play that one, and looking forward to it. I mean, we're an indoor sport that gets playing air conditioning, but the weather still can affect us and move things around, and our sport is great, and our support, not just from our fans but from our administration and everybody that comes to our games and help to work our games. And that's just something that's hard to do when a football game is going on, because that takes a lot of people as well. So I really like our administration and how much they support volleyball, and the fact that they want it to be here. Obviously, this was Thompson's home game, but it would have been the same case here. But the number of people that we have that's involved in our matches and our game days is really important, and I'm excited that we make it such a big deal here.
Looking back on this weekend, just where did a lot of this success come for you guys? Where did you feel like your girls really played well on Saturday to be able to go out and win 4 games in a day, which is not easy to do?
No, it makes for a long day. You got to stay focused for a long period of time. That's what I always ask us to do. I often say early on, I said the hardest thing that we have to do is to pay attention. So to be able to do that over the course of 4 matches, we played 2 out of 3, so they're a little shorter, but all day and then win those games is a big deal. And we did a good job serving throughout the weekend. We had a lot of people contribute and offensively. Savannah Gann is our go-to outside hitter, if you will, but Jordan Madsen had a good weekend. Millie Burgess, a freshman, stepped up and contributed a lot. 2 of our middles that played, Grace and Arden, had contributing weekends as well. So it wasn't just 15 or 20 kills from Savannah. We had 7 or 8 from a lot of people, almost double digits, as we're looking at that, and that makes us very difficult to defend. And I was very excited that we were able to do that and then still beat, Auburn, as we beat them at the end of the day on their home court. And they're a top 10 team as well, and to be able to do that with spreading the ball around was really nice to see.
What'd you think about Brutech, Montgomery Catholic? You know, having not seen them very much, getting to compete against them, a little bit lower classifications, but they've been at the top of their classifications over the last couple of years.
I mean, it was really good competition, and Montgomery Catholic's at the number 2 in 5A, this year, and so we got a chance to play, and it wasn't your normal tournament format where you maybe play some teams and maybe you're the number 1 seed and you play some lower seeds in your pool and then go on to bracket play. But he had it organized so that we played like 4 really good games, and basically the tournament was just basically decided by whoever had the best winning percentage. And of course that was us because we were able to win all of ours. But throughout the entire day, the 4 matches were really tough competition. It was good for us. We went 3 and 2 of those matches. The other 2 we won 2-0. So again, too, like I said, it was a good day of volleyball. It was a good day of competitive volleyball.
Looking now ahead to tonight, and then obviously tomorrow night with Hoover coming in, what are really going to be the keys for you guys, and do you prepare for these games, the area games, a little differently than you prepare for some of the regular games that you play?
I think you do. I think you have to. I mean, they do count a little bit differently as well. I think it's okay to do that. I mean, it adds an element of pressure and maybe a little bit of stress on us, but I think we need that as we're going through our season. We're all these games. We play some of our rivals in Spain Park, who was in the area last year, and Mountain Brook, and some of these. They're all big games because we all want to win them all. But we get to go in the area now, and we're going to count these into a standing. We got back-to-back games, Tuscaloosa County and Hoover. They're 2 different teams, but we're excited about it. And again, just looking forward to really good volleyball. We know Tuscaloosa County is a good program. We played them last year at their place. Of course, we played Hoover a couple of times last year, once here and there, and so we're familiar with all of them. But the preparation will be a little bit different this week.
Playing back-to-back nights, what are some of the difficulties that can bring?
Well, you look, for example, the Hoover game tomorrow night, where we don't really have a practice to prepare for it. So we went ahead yesterday and we did a film session, watching Hoover, and some things that we felt like we needed to just really make important and be able to do, but to talk about how we're going to attack as well, because we know if we take care of things on our side, if we serve and pass, and we attack in areas that we want to attack, we're going to do a good job. But obviously we have to play defense too. And so we did some of that ahead of time. I talked to the girls. I said, you have tests on Tuesday and Wednesday, and sometimes you study ahead of time for the Wednesday test. And that's what we did. So we kind of broke practice into 2 yesterday. So we had some Hoover and some Tuscaloosa County, and then obviously some of us just our normal fundamentals and things that we do. So we didn't really get that prep day in between, but I think we'll be okay.
What's the plan for this weekend?
So we're leaving Thursday morning, and we're going to Panama City Beach for a tournament at Arnold High School, and we have 4 matches set up down there: 2 Friday night, 2 Saturday. It's not like a bracket play where we go on and play a bunch, but you get 4 quality opponents. Our first one is a team from Fort Lauderdale coming. So again, we're getting teams from, and I think we do have 2 teams from Georgia that we're playing as well, that we haven't seen and played before. So that we're able to get away for a minute, and have some togetherness. I think the girls are going to enjoy. We got a charter bus. They're going to enjoy riding down there. Obviously, we're going to be at the beach, and so we'll do some things, as long as the weather cooperates. But then, we also got to make sure that we get our minds right and we go play good volleyball.
Are you coming back Saturday or Sunday?
We'll come back Saturday after it's over. And but I'm all for playing different teams in different areas. It's great for us. We didn't make a trip like this last year, so we're super excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, I talk, basketball teams do this all the time, where they go to these Thanksgiving tournaments, Christmas tournaments, stuff.
Right.
They talk about going and staying overnight and how it builds that team bonding, team chemistry.
Oh,
do you think that this is kind of coming at a perfect time right here during the middle of area play for this team to really come together and start gearing up for this postseason run that's right around the corner?
Yes, I think it does. It's we schedule it obviously, and so I definitely like it. But it is right in the middle of the season. We're going to take a good trip. We're going to have some time to spend, everybody together, do that. I mean, they get to do that a lot, in and out of school as well. But we'll have our volleyball trip for this weekend. We'll have some fun things planned and do that. And then we really don't play again on another weekend. You and I talked about this before about just making sure that we're ready for the postseason. So after this weekend, we don't play on any more weekends. So the fact that we get to go to the beach, we get to go to Panama City, we're going to enjoy ourselves and and have a good meal or two and play some really good volleyball. And I think it lays out perfectly for us.
Coach, appreciate you taking the time again this week to join us here on Keeping Up with Vestavia Athletics. Good luck to you guys tonight and tomorrow with the big area games coming up. Good luck this weekend. Have fun down there at the beach, and look forward to being back here to recap it all and start getting people prepared for the next week.
You bet. We're going to have a good time, and we're looking forward to it. Thanks.
Ulch Mulch is a proud sponsor of Vestavia High School Athletics and the Keeping Up with Vestavia Athletics show. If you're in need of lawn maintenance, natural stone masonry, concrete, or any other landscaping or hardscaping needs, look to Ulch Mulch, located right here in Vestavia. That's Ulch Mulch. Just call 205-704-0880 for your estimate today, or visit our website at www.ulchmulch.com.
Welcome back in. Keeping Up with Vestavia Athletics, Caleb Brooks and Coach Robert Evans here. And Coach, you guys had an interesting week this past week, as well as a lot of teams around the state that made the decision to move their game from Friday to Thursday due to some expected weather. And so looking back at last week, kind of how chaotic was all of that, having to get all of that worked out to move everything up a day ahead, and how did that affect preparation or anything like that for you guys?
Well, it really didn't affect anything. I think by most Thursdays we're ready to play a game, and last Thursday was no different. I feel like we could play Spain Park if we had to today. So, we do a lot of stuff on the front end on Sunday and Monday, and then kind of refine and scrap things by Wednesday and Thursday and Friday are really kind of glorified walkthroughs. So moving it up a day, even though it was the day before that they made the decision, really didn't affect much of our preparation, and our kids were ready to go, and I think that showed in the game.
Yeah, you look at it, you guys came out the gates really, really hot. You got up 7-0 on them, and, obviously had a backup quarterback out there, and we're dealing with some things with that. And how did you feel about his performance and the way that he was able to lead the team?
Luke Turner's kind of what high school football is all about. Got a kid that, won't play in college on Saturdays, but has done nothing but what is asked of him, and hasn't complained or moaned, when he was our quarterback in the spring, and then JP kind of won the job in the summer. But he's everything you would want in a teammate, and he just does his role and is quiet, goes about his business, and I think that's why all the kids and the coaches respect him, because he's a leader in his own right, and you pull for, it's easy to pull for the Luke Turners of the world who do what they're asked to do in practice, and when his time came, he was ready to play. He didn't play perfect, and he made mistakes, but at the same time, I thought he made some big throws and kind of kept us in the game and managed the game well.
You talk about how in the spring, he was kind of the guy, and then obviously the job, ended up going to someone else due to the summer. But the fact that he's had some time where he felt like he was the man, and he felt like he was a starter, has that helped him in,
Sure.
Kind of being able to step into this role?
Absolutely. A lot of our baseball kids, or most of our quarterbacks are baseball kids, and Luke's not. And so he had that. He had the benefit of spring and just getting all of those literally thousands of reps between the 10-on-2s that you start in February into spring training, played the entire spring game, and had all of the summer and fall camp. So he knows our offense well, and so yeah, it just he has gotten more reps than anybody in our program at the quarterback position, and feel comfortable with him in there as the quarterback.
When you look at Hoover, what were some of the things that they were able to do really well that kind of helped them be able to stop you guys on offense throughout the night?
Well, we got the fluky turnover in the first half, and it wasn't the best ball. It was actually one of our sophomore quarterbacks who was in and threw a kind of a low ball, and it bounced up off the ground right to one of their guys, and that happens in football. Sometimes you get quirky bounces, and then in the second half, we had our chances and couldn't convert on fourth downs, and I think they had like 60 yards maybe at halftime, and had what was it, maybe 7 points. Their 7 points were off a 10-play drive or a 10-yard drive, really, until the fourth quarter, and they did put together 2 nice drives in the fourth quarter. But I just, it's not one of Hoover's better teams, but they're very talented, and they're always going to be talented. But it'll be interesting to see what happens when they play, people as talented as they are. But we got to take care of business this week. But obviously, we'd love another crack at those guys, and feel like, if we handle business this week, which is a tall task for us, that we'll be in a position to kind of control our destiny moving forward.
You talk about this week with Spain Park, and to me, this has to be the biggest game of the season up to this point for you guys. Not that it's a must-win situation, but a win would go a long way towards you guys reaching the goal that you want.
Well, this is, you can say it's pretty much is a must-win for both teams. And, I told the guys last week we have to win one of the next two to control our destiny the second half of the season. And we still do control our destiny. Spain Park still controls their destiny. We're both in the same boat. We played traditionally the two toughest teams in our region, and everyone else has to play those guys. So the loser will not be out of it mathematically, but in practicality, you have to basically win out, and then you need some help from there. So you're obviously in a much better situation to win. I think Spain Park I think Tim is doing a really good job over there. They're very, very similar in that we played, their Thompson score was about the same as ours. Their Hoover game was similar to ours, and they lost on the last play of the game against Briarwood in the fourth quarter, and then they beat Clear to open the season. But they're a very talented team. They've got a bunch of Division I guys up front, and I think their quarterback's a winner. He's just a really good high school player, and so we'll have to play well to win the game. But ultimately, you have to play well in the region games to advance, and I'm sure they know the stakes, and we know the stakes as well. Not that it's a given that you make the playoffs, but it's a really big game in terms of both teams want to be able to control their own destiny in terms of the playoffs, and that's kind of the ramifications of this week.
We talked about this group a little bit last week because you got to see them on film before Hoover, but you talked about this really, really tough team up front. Really physical team, and it's going to be kind of the third week in a row now that your guys are in a very physical game.
And that's what we said. I think Bobby Bowden used to say, you got to get up, or when he was at Florida State, I know it's apples to oranges. You guys emotionally get up 4 to 5 times a season. We've gotten up 4 times in a row, and credit to our guys, and they have to be up. You cannot play this game if you're not emotionally ready to play. And Spain Park has a physical team. We have an off week next week, so we're going to try to empty our tank this week and kind of heal up and recover next week. And everybody understands kind of what's at stake. And I think Spain Park will be ready to play. There's no question in my mind. Tim's a program builder, did a great job at Jackson Olin, and him and his dad, Pop, did an unbelievable job when they were at Fairfield. And so now that he's at a place like Spain Park that's got resources that he hasn't had at some of his past places, it'll be interesting to see what happens for them. But they're in a very similar boat as we are, as we're kind of laying the groundwork to what we hope will be a sustainable product down the road. And Spain Park offers a really a good challenge. They do good things on both sides of the ball, and we'll have to play well to win the game. And I think they probably feel the same thing. They'll have to play well to beat us. So it should be an interesting game, and we hope that we put our best foot forward.
What do they do defensively that's going to be a little different from Hoover, and what do they do offensively?
Yeah, similar fronts. I mean, you look at they're very talented. They have a talented, very freaky sophomore kid that's been offered by pretty much everybody in the country. It reminds me a lot of body style of a kid we had at Hoover 4 or 5 years ago named Jeremiah Moon that played at Florida and was with the Ravens in camp this past summer. But just a really long, rangy kid. And then they've got other guys up front. They got 3 or 4 guys they rotate in that are all Saturday guys and can play. And then I think they're probably tougher than they've been in recent years, and they tackle a little bit better. They're athletic at corner, and they've got some gritty linebackers. And so it's a new style of defense for them, and they're trying the same type deal. I'm sure they see a bunch of things on tape that they correct every week, when we're no different, like stuff that you see that's got to get fixed. So it's just new systems, new terminologies, but their kids play really hard, and that's a credit to Tim and his staff.
Talked about having a backup quarterback. Does that cause you guys to have to call plays any different or run your offense any different?
Well, certainly. JP has a dynamic running style, and he's probably our best pure runner of the football. And so when you don't have that element, you have to go a more conventional route. And, you know, in a perfect world, you're able to, you know, like I said last week, you can't piece together what he does with one person. It takes 3 or 4 different people to say, hey, kind of this is, you have to take this kid's running style to get the running element of JP, and this kid's passing style. So in a perfect world, you have that one person in place, and but we don't live in a perfect world. And so we'll see what happens. We're hoping that JP will be there and be ready to roll on Friday, but, you know, it remains to be seen.
When you look at Friday night for you guys, the Spain Park game, you know, we talked about the importance of it. We talked about emptying the tank next week. What kind of is the message that you give a group, you know, when you talk about emptying the tank and them, you know, having an understanding of that, how do you kind of relay that message of, you know, hey, I know that you've given your all the last 2 weeks and it hadn't come out on the right end, but we've got to continue to try to push and continue to try to fight in order to get to where we want to be.
Right. Well, I'm a person that lives in, I don't like living in the gray. I like the black and whites in regards to just knowing our situations and knowing exactly how it plays out. And so we've been very honest with the guys and said, here's our situation. I don't want to, just like in so many other things, I don't want to have to rely on other people to change my oil, change my tire. I don't want to have to rely on other people to help us to get in the playoffs. I want to be able to do it ourselves, you know, and by continually winning. And so the way you control your destiny is by beating the Spain Parks and the Chelseas and the Tuscaloosa Counties and the Hewitts and whoever else is in our region. I can't even think right now. Oak Mountain. So, you know, if you win those games, you stand a good chance to make the playoffs. If you don't, then you got to win out, and other people have to help you. And that's a pretty easy message to convey. We've got good seniors. We've got a really good senior class. We've got about 42 kids, and I want nothing more from those guys to experience both the exhilaration and the agony of playoffs, because there's nothing quite like the finality of a playoff game where if you win, you advance and it's sheer joy, or you lose and it's complete devastation, and there's always one team or the other crying at the end of the game. I mean, it's the best of, to me, the best of high school football is getting into November, getting into a meaningful cold weather game with high stakes, and those are the memories that you know, I remember, that most people remember is their final game or their final winning big games on the road and celebrating with your teammates and with your community. And so really want to that's been our stated goal all along, is to get to meaningful football in November. And we have a team to do that, but you have to win these type games to move toward that path. And our guys understand that. They're not dumb, and I'm sure Spain Park's guys understand that as well. So even though it's week 5, the way the schedule falls, it just is what it is. We both understand the ramifications, and it's a playoff-like game for us and a playoff-like game for Spain Park. It doesn't mean you're totally eliminated, but you're kind of outside looking in if you don't win this game.
Coach, really appreciate you taking the time again this week to sit down with me. Good luck to you guys on Friday as you guys take on Spain Park. Really excited about this matchup, and I really look forward to seeing how things go for y'all.
Thanks for having us, Caleb.
Ulch Mulch is a proud sponsor of Vestavia High School Athletics and the Keepin Up with Vestavia Athletics show. If you're in need of lawn maintenance, natural stone masonry, concrete, or any other landscaping or hardscaping needs, look to Ulch Mulch, located right here in Vestavia. That's Ulch Mulch. Just call 205-704-0880 for your estimate today, or visit our website at www.ulchmulch.com.
Welcome back in, Keeping Up with Vestavia Athletics. Caleb Brooks now joined by senior volleyball member Elizabeth Jackson. And Elizabeth, for y'all, playing really good volleyball right now. You're on a 5-match win streak and just got done going down to Auburn and having a really successful weekend against some of the top teams in the state. And so just kind of tell me about your opinions on the season so far, and just, you know, how well this team's been able to play through 24 matches now in the year.
I think we've been doing really great so far. We're working ourselves very hard. I'm very proud of how well we've done. I just know we're all putting in our best efforts this season, and I can just see it in everyone's work ethic and how hard we try and practice. And yeah, I'm just proud of how far we've come so far.
I know y'all had a really good group of seniors this past year, and now it's y'all's turn to kind of step up and be the leaders. How much have y'all kind of taken from that group with how y'all have kind of led this group this season?
the seniors last year were amazing role models, in my opinion. I could always look up to them for just on how to do better this year. So what I kind of took from them, I'd say, was how to just set a good example, like always working hard. They were always cheering us on, and I'm always trying to cheer on my teammates because I know that motivation and encouragement is what helps me do better. So I've taken that away from them.
When you look at, you guys being the leaders of this group now this season, that type of stuff, just how have you felt about the way that your group has taken ownership of this team and has, y'all have some freshmen playing, sophomores playing, including them and stuff and making sure that they feel a part of everything. Is that something that y'all kind of made sure was important to do early in the year?
Definitely. I love all our underclassmen. They're all so sweet, so it wasn't even a challenge to take them in because we all just get along so well. Our team chemistry is like definitely our strength, and I just adored getting to know our sophomores and our freshmen. And so, yeah, we definitely made it a priority to include them in everything with our team bonding stuff. No one's ever left out of anything.
When you look at last week, obviously y'all were getting prepared to play an area match with Thompson. That ended up being moved. How disappointing was that for y'all? How much were y'all looking forward to finally getting an area game in?
We were definitely really looking forward to it. We were definitely watching our film. We made that our homework, of course. And we were just all getting really pumped up for it, and I was really excited to play. And then, so when we found out it was moved, it was really upsetting. But I mean, I'm just going to take it as a chance to watch more film and just to learn more about them and be better prepared for it.
Not playing Thursday, did that add some motivation to what y'all went and did this weekend, playing as well as you did and being as focused as y'all seemed to be over 4 matches?
It definitely did. The kind of practices we got to plan ahead for the Auburn tournament definitely did help. We got some more rest than we anticipated, which I'm so proud of how we did in this past tournament. We did amazing. Everyone did. So I would definitely say that did help us. So yeah, it did have some bright sides to moving the game.
And talking with Coach Hardee, he kind of talked about this weekend, everybody was kind of playing well and everybody was getting involved, everybody was doing stuff. How big do you think that was now, knowing that area is getting started tonight? Tomorrow you have to turn right back around and play Hoover, kind of getting everybody involved and everybody playing their best volleyball at the right time. Did you feel like that's kind of happening at the right time here with how y'all did this weekend?
It really did happen at the right time. Having these 4 games sounds like, oh gosh, that's going to be so much. But we powered through it, and we played our hardest in every single match. Even the Auburn match was the hardest match of the day, and we won that. And so I really think that helped give us some motivation and just like positivity for the upcoming area tournaments for sure.
When you get to make long bus rides like that and stuff, you get a lot of time to bond, and was that a good opportunity for y'all to even kind of come closer as a team, making a bus trip down to Auburn and having to come back?
Mm-hmm. Everyone just like riding together, we can talk about literally anything, talk about music, basically everything. So it's really nice to get to talk to everyone and just, you kind of get to know each other better because it's not a volleyball context, not volleyball situation necessarily. So yeah, it's just a great way to get to know everyone better, for sure.
This weekend's going to offer that opportunity even more as y'all make a trip down to Panama City Beach. How much are you looking forward to that? And then, do you think that's going to help this group come closer as well, getting to experience that together?
I'm so excited for the beach trip because we're even going to get to, like at the lake, we could hang out outside, but there was nothing much we could do with it. But at the beach, we're going to have like free time all the time to just go to the beach together and just hang out like friends, not as teammates. So that's definitely going to have an impact. I feel like we're all going to go closer with each other, which will definitely help with the upcoming games after that too.
When you have a trip like that, obviously everybody's looking forward to it, everybody's excited about it. How much are y'all having to kind of talk about, hey, as much as we're as excited for this, we've got to focus on these 2 area matches that we have before we can worry about going down to Panama City Beach and enjoying our time there?
Honestly, we've been really focused on these upcoming tournaments. We definitely talk about the beach, and we're just like, we're so excited for that. But our focus has really been zoned in on the T County match and the Hoover match. We haven't been that distracted.
Looking at these 2 matches this week, what are your keys for this team having success and winning these 2 area matches to set you guys up for a chance to be able to host the area tournament right here?
Definitely just staying positive. Like, our biggest struggle is staying positive. We're all very united, which is great because when we do well, we're all doing well and we're all motivating each other. But then we can tend to get in a slump, and when one person's in a slump, we all kind of fall down with them. And so something we need to work on is just staying positive even if we're struggling. Because volleyball is fun. We're here to have fun. We're here to win. but we're also here to have fun and just enjoy ourselves. And when we enjoy ourselves, we're going to play better and just have a good time.
We're going to do the get to know you part now here of the interview. And so first off, Elizabeth, just kind of tell me what your favorite food is and how often are you eating that food as well?
My favorite food is probably popcorn. It's generally been my favorite food since I was a kid. I don't know why. So I have it definitely once a week. It's just like a good snack. It doesn't really fill you up, so I just snack on it a lot.
Like eating it during school, or is it something where like
Not
you're sitting
necessarily
at
during
home?
school, but I'm not much of a snacker in school, but definitely at home. Every time I come home from practice, I'll just grab a thing of popcorn and have that before dinner.
What's your favorite music to listen to, and is that what you're listening to like before a game, or does it change before a game? Or
I like to say I listen to pretty much all genres of music, but my favorite is more of the alternative stuff. But I get into certain bands and listen to certain genres of music. So right now I'm really into this band called Flip Turn. But yeah, music is like a big part of my daily routine in general. But for volleyball, it's kind of odd. Like if I'm driving to a game and I'm alone, I get really nervous for games and stuff. And so I usually play some calm, more like instrumental type music just to like center myself and really focus in. But then once we get to the game and my whole team's together, we'll play like some really kind of pump up music, anything really energetic and loud. So that transition's kind of odd, but like it really helps me just like shake off the nerves and get ready to play.
you talk about loving music, you know, some of your other teammates talked about singing before games together and doing all that. Does that help kind of calm you down and just getting those moments together and stuff?
Definitely. We have this kind of tradition that started last year where we're just sing the national anthem at random points. Someone will just start singing, we'll all join in. It's so random, but it's just little moments like that that just bring everyone closer together. Because I don't know any other teams who do that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like our little thing, and I think it's really special.
What's your favorite movie to watch, or favorite like type of movie to watch, if you don't have just one favorite movie?
I think I do have a favorite movie. I'd say Little Women is probably my favorite movie. I haven't seen the old version, but the new version is definitely my favorite. I just love that time period, and I love learning about like the feminist kind of aspects of it, and I really enjoy all the characters. Emma Watson, Florence Pugh. I just love everything about that movie. It's just it's a good movie.
Is there a TV show or anything that you're watching right now on Netflix, HBO, something like that?
I was watching this show called Teen Wolf. It's just like kind of, I don't know if dystopian is the right word, but fantasy type thing. And that was really good, but once volleyball season kind of kicked off, it's usually like volleyball and schoolwork, so that's kind of been my focus. So I kind of stopped watching TV for a little period. But
Awesome. What's your favorite subject in school?
probably if it's like core subjects, math is definitely my favorite. I don't know. I just like math. I don't know why. I can't really explain it. When it clicks, and that's satisfying to me. But if I can pick from any subjects, my favorite's definitely French, because I love the language. I love my teacher. I love the class. The people in it are amazing, and I just have such a close bond with everyone in that class because we've kind of grown up in French together, and I love the culture so much. So everything about French is just awesome to me. But yeah.
What are your plans after you graduate from Vestavia? Do you know where you want to go to school or what you want to get into?
I'm thinking that I'm most likely going to go to Auburn University, but I'm applying to places like Belmont. I'm going to apply to UNC just to see, but I'll probably end up at Auburn. And I've had some ideas of what I want to major in. Like, I'm pretty set on something in the science and maths, leaning towards something medical, still not sure yet, but definitely going to consider stuff like that.
What would be your message to people out there on, you know, why getting to be a part of this volleyball program has been an important thing in your life, and being a part of Vestavia Athletics, and then why this is a team to come out and come watch and support as the year goes on?
I would say if you're looking to come join the volleyball program, it's just a great way to build friendships and just bonds with people. Like, I've been playing with some of these girls since 7th grade, all the way up until senior year, and that's just crazy that we've spent that much time together. And so just the relationships you can develop from this program are just really heartwarming, because even if I don't necessarily see them that much outside of volleyball, I can always have that friend in the program. And then for just coming out to see us, you'd be surprised at how interesting volleyball can be to watch, because you don't necessarily have to understand all the rules of the game to enjoy watching it. It's very fast-paced. It keeps you entertained. It keeps you hooked, I think. So, like, I've had friends that I've been trying to get to come to games for years, and they'll finally come to one and be like, that was surprisingly fun to watch. And I'm like, yeah, like, you don't have to play the sport to enjoy watching it. So I would just say, come try it out. Come watch a game and see how you like it.
Awesome. Well, Elizabeth, really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me and join me here on Keeping Up with Vestavia Athletics. And good luck tonight. Good luck tomorrow as you guys start the biggest games of your season with Tuscaloosa County and Hoover, and then also Thompson next week. So really look forward to seeing how that goes.
Thank you.